How you doing this evening? I'm your host, Jake Johnson, and you're watching Untethered Live. Tonight is Sunday night, and this is a live stream from my phone. Bible study night. We're going to do some Bible studying. We're going to be in the great book of Jeremiah tonight, chapter 31, verse 13. That's where we're at. How you doing tonight? How is everybody? Welcome to the show. Things are still as they are. I'm still here. Until we can do better, this is the way it's going to have to be for the next couple weeks, but it will get back to normal very soon. Promise. There's nobody here but me. If you are here, hello. Looks like there's nobody here. I don't have very good analytics on my, I can't really tell what's going on. It's been a lovely day. Nice and sunny out. A nice sunny Sunday. Fed my kitties. Watched him mama cat bring all the baby cats over to get fed. It's lovely. Nice to see nature at work. How are things with you? I see somebody's here. Hello. Welcome to the show. Just talking about feeding my kit. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cats around the house. I only feed one of them though. It's kind of unfair, but they're all feral cats. They all just kind of showed up, so it's not my job to feed them. They know how to hunt. Plus, I've got rodents out there, so maybe they can take care of them and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. What do you think? Hey, Caucasian, what's happening, brother? I'm here, but my hands will be wet for a while. We'll stop jerking off and watch the show. Metaphorically speaking. How are you? How are things? I haven't had a very eventful week. About the only thing I did all week was band practice one night. That was it. And here I is. I go back to work tomorrow. That'll be nice. Be nice to get back at it. Get the hands working again. Hey, April, how are you? Welcome to the show. Lovely to see you, sweetheart. Caucasian's here, but his hands are wet, if you know what I mean. How are things in your world? Was it as beautiful in Florida as it was in North Carolina today? Nice and sunny, shines. Very lovely day. Nature out, birds chirping, cats jumping around, frolicking. It's nice to watch. I stood at my door and watched my kittens frolic for a while. They're lovely animals. They're good. Who's good? Somebody's good. Yes, it was a beautiful out. Great. It is a beautiful day. I fed my cats half a hamburger. Hot, sunny now. It's cooling down. Well, it's about time to cool down. It's got dark out. About time to cool off. I remember some of those hot Florida days. I ain't forgot it. Spent a lot of time in Florida. And I remember wishing for nothing more than to just fall face first into a pond, cool off. It gets awful hot down there. CJ is with you. Hey, CJ. Good to see you. Little man. How did band practice rehearsal go Friday? It was decent. We got a lot done. Practiced about 4 hours. We're all gooder. Wasn't my best work, but I got through it. My hands aren't as fast as they were before the crash, but I'll get that back over time, I would imagine. Still a little soreness and stiffness in the old fingers, but If as long as I keep using them, it seems to be easier to handle. But if I just leave them for a while, they stiffen up. So the trick is don't leave them for a while. Keep them busy. So I'm forever stretching my fingers and, stretching them and pressing them and rubbing them. Probably need to get some stuff to put on them. Some Ben Gay or something. Hello. Hello back at you. I'm guessing you mean CJ because that's the only he you mentioned. It's kind of weird being on my phone. I'm way too close to the camera, but that's how phones work. We're going to have to make do with it, though. We'll get her done. You just won't be able to see the words. Why is Sasquatch's hands wet? Is he around the hot tub? Well, I would imagine he's in some kind of tub. I was joking about the other thing, but I would imagine he's probably messing with water in some fashion. Yeah, they do. They do, but not nearly as bad as they did a week ago. So it's progress. I'll take. Could have been worse. I think about that every day. Could have been worse. Could not have any use of them. That would be bad. But I went to band practice and we went through the whole list, endings and intros and all of that good stuff. Hang on a second. Somebody's texting me. Wow. Hadn't heard from that guy in a while. Yeah, sorry about that. Wandering Hippie, what's happening, brother? Good to see you. Welcome to the show. Wandering Hippie in the house. Oh. Don't you hate it when people text you thumbs up, says, I'm good. How about yourself? I'm good. I'm good. All right. I got it. Thumbs up. Thank you. Stop texting me. Wandering Hippie says, hey, April, honey. You two must know each other. I'm glad to hear it. We got an excellent book of Jeremiah I'm going to get into here in just a few minutes. And I apologize for the lack of the words on the screen or a nice background, but that's the way it be right now. And it'll be that way for about 2 weeks, and then it'll be back to normal. So for now, we just have to deal with this phone view, but we'll get through it. Ain't no try for a trier. You enjoy his podcasts? I'll have to check one out. Been kind of busy the past couple of weeks recuperating from my motorcycle crash. About done doing that. It's time to get back to living. I'm cool, Hippie. Thanks for asking, love, says April. I know. You can see the chat, but it's my job to orate. So I'm orating. Dang it. Anyway, if you got your books handy, crack them open to Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 13. That's where we're going to start today. MVTV, Montana. What's happening? Good to see you, my friend. I'll admit to be lurking in the background. Don't mind me. Well, I don't mind you at all. Enjoy you being here. It's fantastic. Don't you worry about that. All right. We got us a crowd. Got time to get started. All right. Here we go. Then shall the virgin rejoice in the dance, both young men and old together, for I will turn their mourning into joy, and I will comfort them and make them rejoice from their sorrow. You applied for a new job as Ministry of Information Chat Commissioner. Interesting. That's different. And I will satiate the soul of the priests with fatness, and my people shall be satisfied with my goodness, saith the Lord. Thus saith the Lord, a voice was heard in Ramah, lamentation and bitter weeping. Rahel, weeping for her children, refused to be comforted for her children because they were not, meaning they were dead already. Her children were dead and she was inconsolable. That's what that means. Thus saith the Lord, refrain thy voice from weeping and thine eyes from tears, for thy work shall be rewarded, saith the Lord, and they shall come again from the land of the enemy. You're not going to be where you are for the rest of your life. That idea is repulsive. I hear you. It's about like that Ministry of Truth business they got going on at the White House right now. Terrifying. And there is hope in thine end, saith the Lord, that thy children shall come again to their own border. You will not always be where you are, and your future has hope. I have surely heard Ephraim bemoaning himself thus. Thou hast chastised me, and I was chastised as a bullock, unaccustomed to the yoke. Turn thou me, and I shall be turned, for thou art the Lord my God. Bullock unaccustomed to the yoke. That's a young bull that has never been hooked up to a plow before. He's not going to like it very much. Takes a little getting used to. And when he says, turn me and I shall be turned, that's meaning pull on my reins and I'll go where you want me to go. Wondering if he says, come on, guys, smash that like button. I was number 2. Thank you, sir. Surely after that I was turned, I repented, and after that I was instructed. I smote upon my thigh. I was ashamed, yea, even confounded, because I did bear the reproach of my youth. I did feel guilty for all the things I did when I was a child, or when I was below the age of accountability. And that's important. It's different for everybody, the age of accountability. That's when you become mature enough to have an actual thought in your brain and weigh the consequences of your actions. And when you realize that there's consequences for the wrong you do, and that you're aware of what those consequences are, then you've reached the age of accountability. That's when your sins are now counted against you. Until then, they're not. They're counted against your parents. It's a thing you need to think about. You young wayward children out there. Set thee upon waymarks. Or set thee up waymarks, rather. Excuse me. Make thee high heaps. Set thine heart towards the highway, even the way which thou wentest. Turn again, O Virgin of Israel. Turn again to these thy cities. Whew. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backbiting daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. I wonder if that's happened already. Let's read that again. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. What does that mean? Well, it means exactly what it says. A woman will go beyond the authority of a man. That's a punishment, not a reward. Just thought you should see that that's in the Bible. Along with all the good things that the Bible says about women, some of the things it says isn't very favorable. And the reason is because of their actions. We're not talking about all women. We're talking about backsliding women. So when you see those raging feminists or those people out there crying in the streets and whining and tweeting up a storm, just imagine who they are. And then ask yourself, am I one of those? Don't want to be, pretty sure. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, as yet they shall use this speech in the land of Judah, in the cities thereof, when I shall bring again their captivity. The Lord bless thee, O habitation of justice, and the mountain of holiness. And there shall dwell in Judah itself, and in all the cities thereof together, husbandmen, people who deal with inseminating cattle and planting seeds and, making vines grow and things like that. That's what a husbandman is. And they that go forth with flocks, shepherds. For I have satiated the weary soul. I have replenished every sorrowful soul. Upon this I awakened and beheld, and my sleep was sweet unto me. So he woke up in the middle of the night and had an epiphany. And that's what he come to realize. And then he went back to sleep and he slept like a baby. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will sow the house of Israel and the house of Judah with the seed of man and with the seed of beast. And it shall come to pass that like as I have watched over them to pluck up and to break down and to throw down and to destroy and to afflict, so will I watch over them to build, to plant, saith the Lord. In those days they shall say no more, the fathers have eaten a sour grape, and the children's teeth are set on edge. What does that mean? That means that the father has committed a sin and the son has to pay for it. That's called a generational punishment. That's not supposed to happen in everyday life. It does happen occasionally, but it ain't supposed to happen regularly. Well, we just dropped a lot of viewers. What happened? I'm scrolling back through the chat to see if I missed anything. Didn't miss anything. Where are y'all going? Is that just my analytics going crazy? But everyone shall die for his own iniquity. Every man that hath eateth the sour grape, his teeth shall be set on edge. That's God promising that I'm not going to punish your children for your mistakes. I'm done with that. It's been going on too long. That's what that means. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they broke. Although I was an husband unto them, saith the Lord, I took care of them, I provided for them. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith the Lord, I will put my law in their inward parts, in their hearts, and write it in their hearts. and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. There's that Greek word again, Lo-Ami, Miami. And what that means is I will be your God, and you will be my people. This is very important. This is why we're here. This is what God wants from us. That's the reason we exist. It's the only reason we exist. And when you get that in your head, everything else tends to make a lot more sense, a lot easier. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more. When God forgives you, that sin is blotted out of the book of life. He doesn't remember it. He doesn't want you remembering it. Don't bring it up again. Let it go. Don't worry about it. Don't feel guilt over it. Accept your forgiveness and move on. Easier said than done, I know, but trust me on this. That's what it is. Thus saith the Lord, which giveth the sun for light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Lord of hosts is his name. If those ordinances depart from before me, saith the Lord, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever. Long as the moon comes around the earth and then the sun goes around the earth, Israel will be a nation around the earth. It will always be. If any of those other things stop, then Israel will stop. They're still here 4,500 years later. Seems like it's working. Thus saith the Lord, if heaven above can be measured, and if the foundations of earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, saith the Lord. Obviously, it cannot be. Behold, in the days come, saith the Lord, that the city shall be built to the Lord from the tower of Hananeel unto the gate of the corner, and the measuring line shall yet go forth over against it upon the hill of Gareb, and shall compass about Goeth, and the whole valley of the dead bodies and of the ashes, and all the fields unto the brook of Kidron, unto the corner of this gate towards the east, shall be holy unto the Lord. It shall not be plucked up, nor thrown down any more forever. The word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord in the 10th year of Zedekiah, king of Judah, which was the 18th year of Nebuchadnezzar. For then the king of Babylon's army besieged Jerusalem, and Jeremiah the prophet was shut up in the court of the prison, which was in the king of Judah's house. For Zedekiah, king of Judah, had shut him up, saying, Wherefore dost thou prophesy and say, Thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will give this city into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he shall take it. See, the king of Judah don't believe it's going to happen yet. He thinks he can win. He thinks God's on his side. Even though Jeremiah is telling him, God sent me to tell you, he's not on your side. You're going to lose the city. So he put him in prison because he thinks he's going to win. He's not going to win. And Zedekiah, king of Judah, shall not escape out of the hand of the Chaldeans, but shall surely be delivered into the hand of the king of Babylon, and shall speak with him mouth to mouth, or face to face. And his eyes shall behold his eyes. They'll be right close together, face to face, talking. And he shall lead Zedekiah to Babylon, and there shall he be until I visit him, saith the Lord. Though you fight with the Chaldeans, you shall not prosper. And Jeremiah said, The word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Behold, Hanameel, the son of Shallum, thine uncle, shall come unto thee, saying, Buy thee my field that is in Anathoth, for the right of redemption is thine to buy it. It's yours. You have the right to this field, so go ahead and purchase it from me. If not, I'll sell it to somebody else, but you have first dibs. So Hanamiel, mine uncle's son, came to me in the court of the prison according to the word of the Lord, and said unto me, buy my field, I pray thee, that is in Anathoth, which is in the country of Benjamin. For the right of inheritance is thine, and the redemption is thine. Buy it for thyself. Then I knew that this was the word of the Lord. When Jeremiah's prophecy started coming true, that's when he knew right off the bat, something's up. Give me a second. I'm scrolling through the chat. Well, tell your dad I said happy birthday, Caucasian. Thomas Bass, welcome to the show. All the way from Greendale. Got Greendale in the house. Welcome to the show. Good to see you here, Thomas. Glad you could finally make it. All right. If you're interested, we're in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 32, verse 8. Fixing to go to 32, verse 9. And I bought the field of Hanamiel, my uncle's son, that was in Anathoth, and weighed him the money, even 17 shekels of silver. I don't know how much a shekel is, but I'm guessing that's a good price for a field. And I subscribed the evidence and sealed it, and took witnesses and weighed him the money in the balances. Balances being the scales, meaning that it was a fair trade. He made sure it was exact amount. Good hub. Well, it's not really that good. I'm on my phone right now because my computer's down. My internet's down. So I got to kind of do this the old-fashioned way. No backgrounds, no words on screen, no bells and whistles, just my ugly face too close to the camera. HBU. I don't know what that is. Anyway. So I took the evidence of the purchase, or the receipt, both that which was sealed according to the law and custom, and that which was open, and I gave the evidence of the purchase unto Barak, the son of Neriah, the son of Mashiach, in the sight of Hanamiel, mine uncle's son, in the presence of the witnesses that subscribed to the book of the purchase, before all the Jews that sat in the court of the prison. In other words, he made this an official deal. It wasn't just a purchase from one man to another. It was a purchase from one man to a king. And then it was written into law that this land is his. And there were witnesses. So that it's a very important piece of land that'll come into play later in life, because it'll be passed down. Is it about to rain in Florida? That's not good. And I charged Barak before them, saying, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, take these evidences, or this receipt, this evidence of purchase, both which is sealed, and this evidence which is open, and put them in an earthen vessel, that they may continue for many days. Save it for posterity. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, houses and fields and vineyards shall be possessed again in this land. In other words, you're not going to own it forever. but you'll own it for a while and then someone else will have it. In other words, it's not going to be passed down through your family forever. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, I already read that. Now, when I had delivered the evidence of the purchase unto Baruch the son of Neriah, I prayed unto the Lord, saying, Ah, Lord God, behold, thou hast made the heaven and the earth by thy great power and stretched out arm, and there is nothing too hard for thee. Thou showest loving kindness unto thousands, and recompensed the iniquity of thy fathers unto the bosom of their children after them. The great, the mighty God, the Lord of hosts is his name. Great in counsel and mighty in work, for thine eyes are open upon all the ways of the sons of men, to give everyone according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doing, which has set signs and wonders in the land of Egypt, even unto this day, and in the land and among the other men, and hast made thee a name as at this day, and hast brought forth thy people Israel out of the land of Egypt with signs and with wonders and with a strong hand and with a stretched out arm and with great terror or awesomeness. This word terror is the same word we use today as awesome. That's what he means by it. Lost my place. Hang on. I found it. And has given them this land, which thou didst swear to their fathers and to give them, a land flowing with milk and honey. We're talking about the land of Judea now. We're talking about the land that was once belonged to the Canaanites. All that land, that whole eastern side of Jordan, is theirs for an inheritance, overflowing with milk and honey, and they came in and possessed it. But they obeyed not thy voice, neither walked in thy law. They have done nothing of all that thou hast commanded them to do. Not one of the commandments God gave them did they keep. Think about that. He gave them all that land, made sure every family had a piece divvied up for them. And they didn't even listen to one of his commands, not one, for a very long time. They stayed in that land and prospered and lived off that milk and honey and the fruit of God's gift. And not once did they listen to one thing that he asked them to do. And you wonder why he scattered them. But that must be God's fault, right? Not man's. God's a tyrant. He's evil. Come on now. Therefore thou hast caused all this evil to come upon them. Behold, the mounts, they are come unto a city, or they have come unto the city to take it. And the city is given into the hand of the Chaldeans that fight against it because of the sword and because of the famine and the pestilence. And what thou hast spoken is come to pass. And behold, thou seest it. Told you it was going to happen. Now it's happening. That's right. They didn't listen to a single word he said. And thou hast said unto me, O Lord God, buy thee the field for money and take witness, for the city is given into the land of the Chaldeans. Then came the word of the Lord unto Jeremiah, saying, Behold, I am the Lord, the God of all flesh. Is there anything too hard for me? Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will give this city into the hand of the Chaldeans and into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, and he shall take it. And the Chaldeans that fight against this city shall come and set fire on this city and burn it with the houses upon the roofs, upon whose roofs they have offered incense unto Baal and poured out drink offerings unto other gods and provoked me to anger. Beginning to wonder why God's doing all of this? Would it have anything to do with them worshiping false gods on their rooftops and in other high places? They've sacrificed to Baal, which is a different language, and that means false god, and other gods, not just Baal, such as Moloch and Diana and Dionysus and all the others. Ishtar, there's a few of them. Ashtaroth. Anyway, I digress. They'll come set fire to your houses because you provoked me to anger. For the children of Israel and the children of Judah have only done evil before me from their youth. For the children of Israel have only provoked me to anger with the work of their hands, saith the Lord. That's all they've ever done. I've given them chance after chance after chance, and all they have ever done was provoke me to anger. For this city hath been to me as a provocation of mine anger and of my fury from the day that they built it, even unto this day, that I should remove it from before my face, because of all the evil of the children of Israel and the children of Judah, which they have done to provoke me to anger, they, their kings, their princes, their priests, and their prophets, and the men of Judah, and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, my chosen people, the one I'm trying to save. I get so mad when people blame God for the evils that are in the world. And I've got this book in front of me that documents year after year after year for thousands of years of them doing bad and doing everything they can to make God angry and doing everything they can to break every commandment God ever gave them. And then when God gets mad, they're like, why are you mad, God? We didn't do anything. How dare you get mad at us for being human? And they have turned unto me the back and not the face. Though I taught them, rising up early and teaching them, yet they have not hearkened to receive instruction. I know what that's like. You try your best to teach somebody something and they just won't listen for nothing. Won't even acknowledge that you're teaching them, because that's the way of the world. People are way too arrogant, don't know their place in the hierarchy of things. The first thing you can do when becoming wise is understand that you are a pupil, not a teacher. And the less you think you know, the smarter you actually are. But they set their abominations in the house, which is called by my name, to defile it. But they I read that. And they built the high places of Baal, which are in the valley of the sons of Hinnom, to cause their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire unto Moloch. What does that mean? That means there was a ritual in those days where they would take children, young children, and pass them through fire, burning them, third-degree burns, to offer their lives up to Moloch. Moloch is a bad god. He's the first abortion clinic, if you know what I mean. Which I commanded them not, neither came it into my hand. It's not my doing. I didn't ask them ever to do that. In fact, I told them not to do it. That they should do this abomination to cause Judah to sin. And now, therefore, thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, concerning this city, whereof ye say, it shall be delivered into the hand of the king of Babylon by the sword, and by the famine, and by the pestilence. Behold, I will gather them out of all countries, whither I have driven them in mine anger and in my fury, in great wrath, and I will. Am I froze up? Hmm. All right.